There's a lot of news being made about Columbia University right now. A lot of people are talking about the federal immigration authorities arresting student Mahmoud Khalil, who was a former graduate student and a Palestine activist who played a prominent role in Columbia University's protest against Israel. I've heard very different takes on if people think this is right or not. There are some people that think this is a free speech violation, that there are people that think that these are the ramifications for invoking hate speech against Jewish students and arguably, pro-terrorist propaganda, depending on your perspective. You can imagine which side I'm on. What has it been like for you to be a professor on this campus during all of this and during the past, year and a half, during so much protesting, so much media attention? And where do you stand on the arrest of Mr. Khalil?
Well, the protests are hard. Columbia, as you know very well, you were there just 1 year before I came. It's a tiny campus. It's the
It
size of a
is.
postage stamp. And so if there's a protest, it's the whole campus. It's not just one little corner and then you can go over to the other side. It means that any class you're in, you can hear the protest. And so a protest at Columbia is a very vibrant thing. And it's gloomy. It's sad. A lot of Jewish students are hurt. I experienced so many Jewish students crying in my office. I bought a box of Kleenex two
Oh my
springs ago because
gosh.
it just became such a standard thing. And to tell you the truth, I have been on sabbatical this entire school year, and especially since we all got so used to doing things from home during the pandemic, I don't go much. It's kind of a longish commute, and I'm not there. I'm not sitting in offices. I'm not on committees, and so there's only so much I know about it in terms of having conversations with people on the street. But in terms of these deportations, as far as I'm concerned, it would make perfect sense if Colombia were to discipline Khalil and like-minded people for actions that made it difficult for students to do their learning and or makes a huge subset of students feel discriminated against. I can see him being expelled or a degree being revoked or something like that. For him to be yanked out of the country with the idea that the things that he did are of such national import that he shouldn't be allowed to live here, I think is one of the most draconian, ham-fisted things I have ever seen happen in my mature lifetime. I just think of, suppose there was a black student from Sudan. And there's a hideous war going on there almost all the time. And let's say that this person expresses in his dormitory or even, on social media that he agrees with the terrorizing of people in South Sudan, that he thinks that all of those people should just be exterminated. They're disgusting. They need to go. And then he's confident in saying that. Well, suppose he said that on social media often. Does he deserve to be deported because of that extremely repulsive, nevertheless, opinion that he has? That's First Amendment, and nobody in the Trump administration would give a good god darn about him. It happens to be this person's views about this particular conflict, and I understand the concerns about anti-Semitism, but then again, I don't think that the Trump administration really cares about anti-Semitism in itself, given that they harbor outspoken people of anti-Semitic views in their own administration. It's clearly something smaller and larger at the same time. So no, Khalil is not somebody I would have over for dinner. However, he does not deserve to be deported.